When Crunchyroll rolled out the red carpet for its first ever slate of original animes, Tower of God was the series that immediately caught my eye. Its striking animation style, like hand-drawn sketches or charcoal drawings brought to vibrant life, sets it apart from most other animes out there. And certainly from the uncanny 3D animated titles that Netflix has been churning out. Which is good, considering the plot of the first episode of this fantasy-adventure series is pretty slim. There's not much warning before you're thrust right into the world of Tower of God. The new original anime from Crunchyroll, a long-time anime streaming website that is finally starting to break into the competitive streaming wars, Tower of God doesn't bother with world-building or lengthy character introductions. Despite the abundance of both that appear to lurk beneath the surface, the story instead unfurls episode by episode. As more characters and more mysteries are introduced, the further the guileless protagonist Bam, a young boy on a quest to find his best friend who ascends the titular tower. Based on the South Korean webtoon of the same name, Tower of God is set in a mysterious giant structure called the Tower, which is made up of hundreds of levels that each host a different wide-open environment. A magic element called Shinsu flows throughout the tower, which is ruled by the residents of the top levels. The lower-level residents are left to battle their way up each level of the tower, each of which is as massive and large as a continent. But you know as little about the rules of this world as Bam, a young boy who has lost all memory of his past. After his only friend Rachel enters the tower to see the stars, Bam desperately races after her and finds himself battling mythic monsters and fellow residents to make his way to the top. This reviewer only received the first 2 episodes of the series, and can only speak in detail about the first, but already the Tower of God shows a lot of potential. I only say potential because the first episode was so light on explanation that a few minutes in, I was wondering if I had missed something. Many anime fantasy series of this scope spend its first half-hour setting up its premise, with a build-up that can almost be more complex than the episodic adventures that would follow. Or you will get a contemporary protagonist who plays the perfect audience surrogate to which everything can be explained in lengthy exposition dumps. In Tower of God, we get something more akin to the latter, as Bam is an amnesiac who has only known life with Rachel underneath the tower, and several characters pop up to cheerfully explain to him the rules.